And now it's winter. It seems like winter in America. It's a time when all of the hills done been killed and been betrayed. Yeah, even though it's something wrong, everybody ought to know winter. It seems like winter in America. The truth is there ain't nobody fighting because well, nobody knows what to say. Brother, sing a song. Winter in America.
Music is the greatest equalizer. Among the joys of great food and probably being kind, music is the thing that really kind of unites us all. Throughout American history, moments of social unrest and cultural shift have always been accompanied by the emergence of new forms of music. These musical movements are rarely neutral. Instead, they emerge in response to inequality, resistance, and shifting power structures. Yet time and again, rather than addressing the underlying cause of unrest, American society has chosen to blame the music itself. I think this action raises a very important question. Why does music so often become associated with revolution? Why does it provoke such fear? The answer lies in music's ability to circulate ideas, emotions, and identities faster than formal political systems can respond to. Music doesn't create revolution on its own, but it does give language, rhythm, cohesion to a revolutionary feeling. That capacity makes it threatening, not because it causes disorder, but it exposes it. So today I'm here to talk about the true correlation between music, revolution, and why America continues to blame music on the rebellious nature of its youth. Hey guys, I know you haven't known me for very long because I just started the video, but if you could like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. The support's always welcome, so thank you and hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Music has long functioned as a tool of political consciousness. In the United States, enslaved Africans used spirituals as both expressions of faith and coded messages for escape and resistance. Songs like Wade in the Water and Steal Away were not just religious. They carried information and collective meaning that existed beneath the surface. During the labor movements of the early 20th century, folk songs were used to organize workers and communicate shared grievances. Music became a way to simplify complex political ideas into emotionally resonant forms that could be easily remembered and then repeated.
Better working conditions, vacations with pay, take your kids to the seashore. Course it ain't quite that simple, so I better explain just why you got to ride on the Union train. 'Cause if you wait for the boss to raise your pay, we'll all be waiting till Judgment Day, we'll all be buried.
By the mid-20th century, music had become inseparable from mass movements for civil rights and social change. Protest songs didn't operate as policy proposals, but as emotional unifiers. They created a shared sense of urgency and identity that made that collective action possible. That same urgency, that same energy, followed America into the 1950s and 60s. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and the 1960s vividly demonstrated a long-standing truth. Music can serve as a powerful form of political expression. Throughout the struggle for equality, artists and activists harnessed the emotional resonance of songs to convey messages of hope, resistance, and solidarity. Folk songs and spirituals became the norm for rallying cries for change, uniting people across diverse backgrounds in their fight against racial justice. This synergy between music and activism not only mobilized communities, but also shed light on the profound societal issues at stake, illustrating how art can inspire action and foster a collective sense of purpose. Wait, I forgot to tell you how music is dangerous to power. We're gonna go back to that right now. Music's relationship to revolution lies in its accessibility. Unlike academic texts or political speeches, music requires no formal education to understand. It can be repeated, memorized, shared rapidly, which makes it an efficient carrier of dissent. As a result, institutions often treat politically charged music as if it was the cause of unrest rather than its reflection. Jazz was blamed for the moral decay in the early 20th century. Rock and roll was accused of corrupting youth in the early 1950s. Folk and soul music were surveyed during the civil rights era. Hip-hop had been blamed for violence and social breakdown since the 1980s. In each case, the music described conditions that already existed. It articulated frustration, inequality, or resistance that was already there. Blaming the music allowed society to avoid confronting those realities directly. Because as we'll find out very soon, when you let the racists and the homophobes directly confront the music as it was made, well, it doesn't end well. At the same time, artists began producing music that directly critiqued American institutions. Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddamn openly condemned racial violence and state hypocrisy.
So upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest, and everybody knows about Mississippi Goddamn. Alabama's got me so
Marvin Gaye's What's Going On questioned militarism, policing, and inequality. To be completely fair, this had been happening for a while. Dating back to 1939, Billie Holiday had released a song called Strange Fruit, delving into the turmoil of an African American in the Negro South. However, perhaps one of the clearest examples of music articulating revolutionary critique is Gil Scott-Heron's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Released in 1970, the piece rejected the idea that liberation could be passively consumed through media. Gil Scott-Heron emphasizes that real political change would not arrive through advertisements, through slogans or entertainment, but through direct action and consciousness. Importantly, the song itself was not violent. It was not prescriptive. It did not call for chaos. Instead, it dismantled the illusion that systemic change could occur without discomfort. That clarity, rather than any threat, made it unsettling for the American populace.
Revolution wasn't televised in the 60s. Is it going to be televised in the 90s?
Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. That the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page. But I think that the black Americans have been the only real die-hard Americans here, because we're the only ones who carried the process through the process. That everyone else has to sort of like skip stages. We're the ones who marched, we're the ones who carried the Bible, we're the ones who carried the flag, we're the ones who tried to go through the courts. And being born American didn't seem to matter, because we were born Americans, but we still had to fight for what we were looking for. And we still had to go.
Despite soul, funk taking over in the early 70s, it was disco that had its biggest visibility in the mid to late 70s. Disco was not overtly political in its lyrics, but it was deeply political in practice. Emerging from Black, Latino, and LGBTQ communities, it prioritized visibility, pleasure, and collective space, providing queer communities with rare environments for the open expression of their identities. Disco clubs offered one of the first mainstream spaces for queer individuals, particularly gay men, to openly express their identities. As disco gained popularity, this visibility became threatening to some mainstream segments, particularly white heterosexual rock fans, who viewed it as a challenge to traditional gender norms and sexual values. Critics like Robert Christgau argued that homophobia and likely racism fueled the anti-disco movement, exemplified by the slogan "Disco Sucks." Scholars like Craig Werner noted that this movement revealed deep state racism, sexism, and homophobia. This undercurrent was evident at Disco Demolition Night itself. The radio-led promotion in Chicago, 1979, where thousands of disco records, many by Black, Latino, and queer artists, were piled up and detonated, quickly spiraling into a riot. While organizers denied any prejudiced motives, many attendees chanted "Disco Sucks" in a setting that came to resemble a symbolic rejection, not just of a musical style, but of the identities associated with it. The backlash against disco was not merely aesthetic. It reflected deeper anxieties about sexual liberation and cultural power. Anxieties that were often expressed as overt or implicit homophobia alongside racism. Disco faced hatred as a rejection of the communities it represented, and its swift decline shows how quickly a cultural form can be dismissed when it threatens established hierarchies. Hip-hop continues that tradition in the contemporary form. Emerging from conditions of urban neglect, hip-hop documented realities that were often ignored by policymakers. Its critique of policing, poverty, and systemic racism have repeatedly been framed as incitement rather than testimony. From Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet to NWA Straight Outta Compton, hip-hop functioned as a form of political testimony, using sonic intensity and direct language to confront systemic racism, inequality, and police violence, not as provocation, but as lived reality. Even the FBI sent warning letters to the NWA over its lyrics. Major broadcasters banned Public Enemy's music, treating political critique as a social danger rather than as a testimony. This pattern where music speaks truth about inequality is treated as a cause of social problems again, and it is common in American cultural history. In hip-hop's case, critics have blamed the genre for promoting violence, undermining quote-unquote family values, encouraging drug use, or desensitizing youth to social harm, even though these are issues rooted in a broader social condition. Such critiques follow a long history of conflating description with causation. Criticism of hip-hop often stems from society's discomfort with its raw honesty. Instead of sanitizing experiences, it amplifies issues like police brutality and economic marginalization. Critics tend to misinterpret these themes as corrupting rather than seeing them as commentary on real injustices, leading to censorship from institutions uneasy with this honesty. From all these examples, you can tell that the correlation between music and revolution is not accidental. Music becomes revolutionary when it reflects truths that challenge comfort, stability, or control. It doesn't create injustice, it simply, as I said before, gives voice to it. When societies blame music for unrest, they reveal an unwillingness to engage with the realities that the music describes. Attacking the sound becomes a substitute for addressing the system. History suggests a consistent lesson. When music is labeled dangerous, immoral, or disruptive, it's often because it's become to tell the truth too clearly. The artists and examples mentioned represent just a small part of that broader tradition of revolutionary music. The genre has been shaped by numerous musicians and communities encompassing spirituals, freedom songs, soul, funk, reggae, punk, and contemporary protest music. These artists demonstrate that music not only reflects political struggle, but actively participates in them, fostering solidarity, sustaining resistance, and amplifying the demands of marginalized voices. The question, then, is not why music is associated with revolution, but why the conditions that inspire revolutionary music persist. And I, for one, would like to answer that question. Because the problem with the music was never the volume, it was never the notes, it was who had the mic. Thank you for listening.